Welcome to the January 2021 Tukwila Fire Department video message from administration chiefs. I'm Jay Whitwer, and I have a few things to share with you, and then to follow me will be Chief Norm Golden. Today is December 31st, last day of the year. Really want to thank many of you for all the great stuff that you have done this past year. It has been challenging with the COVID responses, all the things that we've had to deal with, reducing our staffing levels to 12. And of course, the good news is April 1st is we return to that minimum staffing of 13. With great efforts from our local 2088 leadership and that partnership with them. This coming year is also going to be challenging. I'm not going to kid you. I hear so many people say, oh, 2021 is going to be fantastic. We're going to do great. That's a nice positive outlook. However, reality is speaking pretty loud to me and to many others, and that is, it is going to be a challenge. However, with challenges come opportunities, and the opportunities I see are going to be really good for us here at the fire department and the changes that I foresee happening. Many of our light duty folks that had assignments this past year did a lot of good work for us. Ben Rasmussen, of course, Marty Roberts has been on light duty a big portion of 2020, and he has handled a lot of different things. So those two gentlemen definitely have done a lot of good work for us, and we appreciate their projects and their ability to accomplish things. Also, Josh Kelch has done a lot of good stuff for us this past year. Too many names to really mention, but I want to thank each of you who have volunteered and have stepped up to the plate in so many different ways. Rumor control. So someone mentioned to me, I think yesterday, that Chief, I heard you moved back to Las Vegas. Well, that is not the case. My home is here, right in the Pacific Northwest. I love being here at the Tukwila Fire Department. However, a great opportunity presented itself to my wife and I, able to rent a home right across the street from the home where we have lived for the past 3.5 years. And we were able to put our home on the market, and it sold within 2 days. We got a really great offer. Actually, the best positive outcome that we've ever had in selling a home. And I think that is pretty much generally the rule here in the Pacific Northwest, especially in the Seattle area. We live in a great neighborhood and made a lot of great friends. And again, we had a unbelievable opportunity to rent right across the street. So that's what we've done. Please, if you have questions, don't spread rumors. Just go to the source, whether it's me or whether it's Chief Golden or whoever you're hearing things about. Just please come to me. I'm grateful for one of our employees that did come to me and ask me questions about me selling the home. Want to give you an update. Of course, my wife, Wendy, has had some health challenges. She is a pretty healthy person. That's one thing that we're very grateful for. Both of us are pretty healthy people. Very, very few problems. 2 years ago, actually today, Wendy was paralyzed from the waist down. With surgical intervention and some rehab, that has returned. She's able to really motivate very well now. Move around and is doing good. A little weak still, and she is seeking some additional rehab in Utah. We do own a little home in a small village just outside of Cedar City, and she's there right now. I will visit her from time to time and assist her. Not sure how long that will go on. I know Wendy is returning to this area in about a week and a half. So life is good for us. Lanteria, I want to thank the department for your attention to Lanteria, your annual reviews. I have been reviewing all of those as they come through. I'm very pleased to announce that as of this morning, we only had 3 people that still needed to finish up, and that is fantastic. Most of those just need to sign off the final signature, and then it gets shipped off to HR. So thank you to each one of you, and especially our supervisors who have been diligent and who have kept it after that. So again, I want to thank you for that. In the first quarter, we will be setting goals individually. I want the supervisors to work with each of the employees and make sure that relevant goals are set up using the SMART model so that we can be prepared for this year coming up, and that our supervisors can work close with our employees to make sure that they have the tools necessary to be successful in their goals. Working remote in 2021, that's going to continue on. Again, we will not return to pre-March 2020 conditions for some time. The vaccines have been released, and many of our people have taken advantage of that. It will not be mandatory at this point for any of our people to take the vaccine. Both Chief Golden and I have discussed this. We're both in line. We want to be part of the solution by getting the vaccines ourselves. My wife has also spoken very loudly about that. She would like to receive the vaccine as soon as possible. So more on that as we get that information. I have a list of work projects for 2021 that we'll be working on. I just want you to be aware of that. Of course, ongoing vaccine and the COVID-19 testing site here in Tukwila. We're going to continue to support that. Kathy Browning starts as that manager the first week in January. Policies. We have been working on policies. James Booth and Marty Roberts have really taken the lead on that, and they're working together on that, have restructured the way that looks. So you'll be seeing more of that in the first and second quarter of 2021. CPSM report. So this is a third-party report that was part of the proviso that the City Council gave to us last fall, and we have been working on that. CPSM is really fairly close to completing that first draft, final draft. I was on about an hour phone call with them today, and we're just cleaning up some of the last things. And Mike Iacona, who spoke to most of the department, assured me that within 2 to 3 weeks after he receives the final data analyses, that he will have that draft report ready. So hopefully by the end of January, we'll be passing that out to our department to review. Sustainability of the fire department. This is on the work plan for the City Council. I repeat, for the City Council as well as the fire department. We will support that work plan. A lot of different things will be taking place. We'll be doing some research and looking really at different options for that to take place. It must be council driven in order for it to be successful. I think that's some of the missteps that we had before when we looked at the RFA as a possible option. And so we're definitely going to engage with the City Council heavily as a whole so that they all have buy-in and that they all understand what's going on with that process. In order for the City Council to feel confidence, our local 2088 leadership also must be engaged with them and supportive of this direction. So a number of things that I have listed here are options to look at and to investigate are the RFA, contract for service, a hybrid of those two. District 25, I believe is what that is called, which is up on Aurelia Road. We will be looking at that, and quite possibly that will be annexed into Tukwila during 2021. Revenues are also something that we'll continue to work on. Of course, false alarm billing, continue to put that into the notes of the CAD system so that we know if you went on a confirmed false alarm for the AFAs or the system, dry system gone wet, so the automatic fire sprinkler alarms that go off. EFR, of course, that app that we use when we go on vehicle incidences whether it be on the highway or within the city, please continue to use that. We're going to look at enhancing that as well. And then other type of contract services, such as sporting events that we will respond to, or perhaps have an aid unit there. We'll also look at the possibility of transporting for a fee and tapping into the GEMT monies that are available within the state of Washington. And other ideas that you may have. Please share that with us, the administrative chiefs, or with your battalion chiefs or captains, so that we can have that discussion. Some of the other things that we are discussing now is the AFG grant will be open the first week in January through February, and we quite possibly will have Marty Roberts, because he's on light duty at this time. He may be the lead on working that grant. We'll have more to share with you on that in the future. Of course, the opening of Station 51 and 52, a lot of work over the next 2 months to get us into Station 52. A lot of dialogue and emails have gone out, so please stay abreast of that information. Fire Station 54, as you know, we have had plans over the last 2 years about how to update some of those systems, namely the HVAC system and some of the other things. I know we removed the carpet about a year ago or so. So we're going to continue down that path to make that station livable and safe for our people to be in. There is a grant that we have applied for. We were not awarded that grant 2 years ago, but we're going to continue to look at that and work towards finding other funding sources for that station. Fire Station 53 is in need of a few updates, and I think simple painting of the outside of the building. So those are things that have been identified that we'll be working on. The last thing that I do want to talk about is the joint recruitment for the September Fire Academy in 2021. That is a go. We are full steam ahead on that. The 5 of the departments that are part of the training consortium are moving forward on that. Tukwila is one of them. I'm excited to be a part of that group. We're hoping that by midsummer we'll be ready to move forward on that, and then place a couple of more people into the academy come September 2021. At this point, I'm going to turn the time over to Deputy Chief Norm Golden. He will wrap this video up, so stay safe out there. Chief Golden.
Thanks, Chief. So I'm looking forward to 2021 for a number of reasons. Hopefully we'll see the COVID pandemic come under control, and we can move on from there. I wanted to kind of touch on what Chief was saying about the Joint Academy. This is a great opportunity for our folks to get trained in Zone 3, come out kind of ready to hit the ground, meet a lot of the folks that they're going to be working with in mutual aid and things like that. But also, for people that are interested in being instructors, we're going to have the unique opportunity to provide some live fire instructors. There's several dates available, several positions on each date. So I think that's something great, and I hope we keep doing that to allow folks to go teach live fire to recruits from not only they'll be coming to us at Tukwila, but throughout the zone, and even people outside the zone are sending people to our academy. So it's going to be just a great program. With COVID, it's really limited my ability to come out and actually meet you through video and video meetings. It's kind of hard to get to know people. So I'm hoping as the vaccinations get done and the efficacy of the vaccination, I believe it's 5 weeks from the date of the first shot. When everybody gets vaccinated, I want to do a bunch of ride-alongs and kind of normalize jumping on rigs with you to get to know you guys personally, but how Tukwila runs and watch firsthand. There's nothing worse than having people making decisions about what it is you do without ever actually doing the job. I think that's some of the struggles with the ESO program that was developed by people that need data, and the people that are going to use our data for EMS to provide things. If you ever use that ESO tablet and try to figure out how to properly do a report in a quick manner, obviously it wasn't put together by somebody that was riding a lot of ambulances or aid cars. I want to fix that by jumping on, doing some ride-alongs with you, and kind of make people get comfortable. So I look forward to getting on the rigs with you in the next year. Starting off the new year with 2 temporary appointments, one to BC, Andy Nevins. It will be Battalion Chief on A shift, and Jeff Nichols, Captain, I believe, on B shift. Really excited about Chief Whitward making that move to temporaries. I think it's important. It tells these people you are in the position, and it just moves our organization forward for accountability, responsibility, and giving people these roles. I hope that we continue to have promotional opportunities, and that's kind of one of the things that we wanted to do, is encourage people when they do have these opportunities to jump in, take the temporaries, and make the most of it. As Chief mentioned, we're having 3 in that academy, and I hope through this new process that the Zone 3 has jumped in as far as getting our testing. I think that's important. We all know one of the big struggles in the fire service is attracting diverse people to our job and getting some diversity. We're really lucky here in Tukwila to work in an extremely diverse city. But as you can see, our fire department has not had the diversity that our community has. And that goes for every fire department in our area. And I think we can address that through the zone and what the consortium was working on. We can attract a more diverse pool of candidates and slowly grow our diversity in the fire department, fire service. So I'm really looking forward to that process. We're going to get a look at the kind of beta stage in September, and we hope to take advantage of that to get some more folks into the academy. I'm meeting with our operations battalion chiefs. I'm one of the big, and I'm not sure it's a change. My position is new. I know Chief Flores was here for a while, then there was a break. But the way that I manage operations is I really do want the BCs to control their shift, make the decisions at the BC level, and I'm not big into micromanaging. I really like to lay out the objectives and then have us perform, let your people perform and do well. And I hope that trickles down to the BCs, kind of let their captains do their job, and company officers really get to work with their people and mentor their people. And I'm excited with this new list coming out. I was just talking to Chief Tommaso today, and he's renewed with some of the energy coming off of people that are on the promotional list and are starting to act, and the questions they ask and all these things. And I love the mentorship that and how Don was talking about that mentorship. So I hope to see that continue into 2021. The boat program is a big thing to me. I'm really excited that we have a boat program. I know there's been some struggles, and I plan right out of the gate, first quarter of 2021, is to address that and present to council and try to get that stood up and actually expand what we're doing to kind of mesh it better in with the zone. Currently, we're supporting a squad concept. There's 2 rescues in the zone. We have some very talented people that are on the USAR FEMA teams here. I want to look at all that and look for opportunities to make that a real solid, supported program. And so in the beginning first quarter of 2021, I'm going to be all over that boat program. Last thing I want to talk about, and Chief touched on the rumors, and this one is going to be ripe with rumors, and there'll be all kinds of things being said. But where I came from, I worked for the city of Auburn, and we were the first RFA established in Washington State. So I went through this process. I was a union president, I was a company officer, and I went through every step of it, kind of standing up the first RFA. So I do have experience in that, and one of the things that I'm tasked with doing is exploring options, and that includes every option, from status quo, keep going what we're doing, TFD is part of the city, to almost any number of things, including an RFA on our own, an RFA with a partner, like Renton, Puget Sound, contract from service, and that could be from any organization that is able to provide that service. We'd look at what that looks like. or a hybrid of any of those things. And in doing that, I'm meeting with a lot of local chiefs. I'm meeting with a lot of the labor groups and just collecting information. So these are the type of things that rumors can go wild, like why is Chief Golden meeting with Chief Webb there with the Puget Sound, or meeting with local over there in Renton. It's for me to get information, to explore things, and once I have kind of a big pool of information, I'm going to try to craft several options so we can find out what's going to work best for our community. And I think anything that works best for our community, we're going to fully support as firefighters, as administration, and at Local 2088. And I want to thank James Booth and Chuck Woolley with Local 28, who's been really helping me get started here as my first month and a half. As you guys know, I think working with the local is important because that's the workers, the people where the rubber meets the road. And in doing anything in our organization to improve our service, to improve our funding, to provide stability is going to take a joint partnership. Chief Whitwer has been committed to that from the start. It was one of the things that were important to him when I came in, and I was absolutely in agreement with that. So together we're going to start looking at these things. I ask you to ask the questions, ask the local leadership, ask your company officers, your battalion chiefs. Ask questions if you hear something going out there, you want any information. I think it's important that we provide that information, and transparency is a big deal to me, and I plan on being as transparent with everything I do because that's the only way I'm going to get good feedback. And please don't hold back something you think is important. I want to have all the information to take into consideration as we build up these options and put them forward. So we have a real educated and intelligent option to offer to the council for their consideration. So in closing, I think 2021 is going to be awesome. 2020 was definitely challenging. It's what we do in the fire service. But 2021, I'm really looking forward to. It'll be my first full year here. And I want everybody to stay safe. Stay being good firefighters. It's what you do. I'm very proud to be part of this organization, and I'll see you out in the streets. Take care.